pull down that maybe a tiny bit. Let me know if the music is too loud or if it is a good level. Welcome to the assembling party for the October crochet along. I am making this stream fancy today. I have been dual camera making, so you can see me there. Hello. There is a lot of equipment in the way, but I hope that you can see my face kind of. And then we have this camera over here where you will be able to see what my hands are doing. Can you see something that is wrong with my capybara that I just noticed because I have on my studio lights? I have switched colors over here and it is not the same dye bath, so the colors are off. Thankfully you can't see this when I've taken photos because I haven't noticed this before now, but now it seems to be very visible. Thankfully it is gonna be sitting in our teacup, so you won't be able to notice this. We can maybe pretend that his or her fur is just a little bit wet from here down. Hi Polar, and hi Sari, hi Nilla, hi Anne, and hi Narian. I'm so excited you're all here on this assembling adventure that we are gonna have today. I am gonna assemble our capybara that we have been making during the October mystery crochet along, the pumpkin sweet crochet along, and you can assemble along or you can assemble anything else that you feel needs your attention currently. Before we start, hi from Helsinki, hi Mariana, hi Minerva, happy to see fellow people joining in from Finland, but also from the rest of the world. That is so exciting. Before we start, some of you might not have joined the October crochet along, so I would like to take a couple of minutes just to show you, if you want to grab this pattern, I am gonna show you how to be able to grab this pattern. So let's do switch like this. Currently, you will find the capybara pattern over in the Happy Amigurumi Club, and I've got questions on how to join the club. And the easiest way to do this is to go to the Happy Amigurumi Club tab and join here. Here you can sign up for the club, and when you sign up for the club, you will get a member letter to your email inbox. Read that very thoroughly. That will encourage you to make an account on garnknutan.com and do this with the same email address as you signed up for the Happy Amigurumi Club. That is very important because when you do that, you can log in and you will get access to all of these tabs. And under the pumpkin sweet call, here's where you will find all the pattern parts for this amigurumi. I will also publish the finished pattern probably at the end of next week. And if you want a shortcut, you will also find it here up. It is the same page that will take you to the pattern parts. And if you want to know anything more about the crochet along, you will find it over here. So that was a quick introduction. If you want to grab this pattern for yourself and join the crochet along, there is still time to do so. You can join in on the fun, and you will also be able to join in on the giveaway, which you will automatically participate in if you publish 3 photos of your amigurumi. One where you have started your project, one in the middle, and one where you have finished the amigurumi over on Instagram. And then at the beginning of November, I will pick 3 winners. One that will receive a yarn kit from BC Garn, and 2 that will get a €10 gift card to the pattern shop. Okay, I think that was all of the information for now. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Hi Rika, nice to have you here. I'm so happy and excited that you are popping in. I have Wall in the Whale ready with all of my stuff that I need for assembling. I have half assembled capybara, so for the photos for the assembling I didn't frog everything, but I have 1 leg and 1 ear left, but I can show you the opposite one on how I sew that on. The only thing I am not gonna show you is how I stitched the front legs to the body. This is just because I felt like the front legs was pointing out a lot and I want them a bit more snug to the body. That also means that it will fit even better inside of our teacup. Yeah. Another thing that I'm not gonna show you during this stream is the handle, because I didn't have time to frog that, but that is very easy to sew on. You just attach it down here and then you like fold it over and attach it here, sew it on. Easy peasy. And I also did, I think, maybe 1 stitch like higher up, just so the handle wouldn't go out as much, but like stick in this position, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I have been looking forward to this for a very long time now, and I'm excited to finally get this amigurumi finished so that I can start figuring out the next project. And the December crochet along, which is coming up very, very fast. So I think the next thing I'm gonna sew on is the legs. So I highly recommend you to start off sewing the front legs to the body and then the back legs, because they are pretty easy to find the right placement for. They are just snug, really close to the front legs, and if you want the exact position, there is between which browns inside the assembling instructions inside of the pattern. Okay. And if anyone needs a really good needle tube, this one is from Knits. Highly recommend. For once, I actually haven't lost any needles. I tend to, I mean, I have maybe 3 or 4 of my favorite needles that are thin and blunt. That's my favorite needles to work with when I sew together pieces. And usually I only know where one of those are. But now I actually know where several of them are, because I have them stored in a safe spot. And if anyone is wondering what's the cup of the day, this is the cup of the day, the Moomin cup of the day. Lucas, I tend to find needles on the floor and the sofa. Yeah, those might be mine. If you don't know, Lucas is my partner that I'm currently living with. So he is unfortunately also the one that suffers mostly from my creative mess that I tend to have all around the apartment. So for this, you could pin it in place, and I wonder if I should do it or now. I am sometimes very lazy with pinning stuff, and it usually tends to bite me in the ass afterwards. So we're now gonna be good crafters and pin our legs in place to get approximately the same position as the other one. I also need to remember to stuff them a little bit more because they are a little bit soft. But I feel like it's hard to sew some pieces on when you have too much stuffing in them, so I tend to put a little bit stuffing just to get the shape, and then I start sewing it on, and then I stuff more as we go. Hi Sari from Naantali, the home of the Moomins. Lucas, it's alright, I've always been interested in trying acupuncture. Yeah, I don't think that this is the right way of doing that. So, okay, let me show you how I sew on the leg with an invisible stitch. So my yarn is now coming up from the body, then I poke through a stitch on the leg, go through the same hole as the yarn came up from, and one to the left, and then I pull. And the same procedure again, take a stitch from the leg, go through the same stitch. This depends a little bit on where you are, of course, but in this position it works good to go through the same hole and then and keep on checking the, I think I'm gonna go maybe one a little bit to the right. Now I'm jumping over the, so it depends a little bit, but follow when you have pinned your piece, follow the edge of the piece, don't follow the stitch holes. Let me know if you are assembling the copper bar. By the way, we need some name suggestions for this fellow. So if you have any name suggestions, let me know. And let me know what you're working on tonight. Are you assembling, or are you crocheting, or are you just chilling? That was way too high. And don't be scared of frogging if it feels like a stitch or two went wrong. It's easier just to frog in this stage than later. What was Polar is asking, what was the idea behind the design? How do you come up with it? So this design actually came from you guys. I asked at the beginning of the year what amigurumis you would like to see me make, and capybara was one of the amigurumis or animals that got the most votes. So from there it started. Then I've got very inspired by Inkaruska, who has a really cute sticker. She is a Finnish illustrator who has a sticker with a capybara in a coffee cup, I think it is. And yeah, then pumpkin season came around and I thought it would be fun to make a capybara that was sitting in a pumpkin spice latte. So that is how we ended where we are. Grace for a name. Still working on the cup. Nice. Yeah, the cup became way bigger than I was planning to. This was supposed to be a pretty small amigurumi, but it somehow ended up to be a pretty big amigurumi. I mean, this is not super big, but my idea would maybe to make it like this size. But at the end, I'm really happy with how the size turned out, and especially happy with how the shaping of the capybara came around at the end after a lot of frogging. And I am a bit inspired now to make some other animals with the same sitting shape, but just to switch out maybe the ears. I mean, I see a horse. A horse would be really cute, and a lot of you also thought that we were making a dinosaur, so that would also be a really fun, just switching out the colors a little bit and the ears. Kappa as in a cup of tea. That's a great idea too. I'm gonna write all of these names up, and we can do a poll in the Discord chat for the name, and then we will have a name for the finished pattern so that I can add that to the front page. And I'm working on the left leg, stuffing it and making the last row. Nice. Pernilla Kappi. Yeah, Kappa and Kappi, very cute names. I was also thinking, I know I have a pattern when it comes to my name picking for my characters, and I tend to go with names that start with the same letter as the animal. But I also thought that pumpkin would be a little bit cute because it's a pumpkin. Now I need something to poke this with, because she is sitting in a pumpkin spice latte thing. But then I realized that if I want to make a Christmas version that I've been thinking about, then pumpkin might not be suitable. So maybe we should have a name that isn't connected to a specific season. Or what do you think? Let me know. So if I have the energy to make this amigurumi again, I love my designs, and I say this very frequently when I make something new, that this is my new favorite one and the cutest thing I've ever made. But if you follow me for a while, you know that I very, very seldom crochet one design twice, because I have so many other things in my head that I want to get out, and I feel a little bit, it's boring to crochet two of the same things. But in this case, I was thinking that it would be fun to make a Christmas version where we could switch out the pattern on the teacup. So basically, this would not be a new pattern, but this could be maybe a... When you're playing games, you call it a skin when you have different costumes for your characters that you're playing. So maybe this could be like a skin for this specific amigurumi. That would be like a Christmas themed one. So my idea was to change this into a Christmas cup in red and white, and then make a Christmas hat for it, and then it would look like it would be sitting in hot chocolate with cream, for example. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is nice. Both a fall and Christmas spice. That is true. I like that. So I just stuffed the leg a little bit more. I like my amigurumis to be pretty firmly stuffed. I feel like the shapes come through best that way. Of course, if you put too much stuffing, it will deform the shape, so you need to be careful not to go overboard. But I feel with cotton yarn you can stuff pretty heavily if you want to. I think it's different if you have a more stretchy yarn. I haven't used chenille yarn a lot, but I feel like that can be stretching out a little bit too much if you put too much stuffing. And the same with wool. I've actually done stuff with wool. Okay, we have our second. I feel like this is it. I'm so happy with how the front legs and the back legs. I was initially thinking to make back legs that looks like Elton the squirrel's legs, who has this round circle here and then it goes out to a leg. But I feel like it didn't look right. So yeah, we ended up with this little version. The color changes on the body is so annoying me. I need to stop looking at those. You can't tell. You can only tell in this light. So let's find a pair of scissors. Oh, maybe a Christmas color too. Yeah. I was initially thinking to keep the white just because it looks like whipped cream, but you could probably change that out to brown for hot chocolate, for example. Sorry. It is a little bit tight to drink the tea and not to mess up the microphone, but I'm trying my best. Hopefully in the new studio I will have some better setup for this live streaming. And yeah, because I've been really inspired to live stream lately, and I thought that I maybe would try and squeeze in 2 live streams a month. One that would be inside the Happy Amigurumi Club as it is right now, and one that would be just on YouTube, open for everybody. So the next thing I recommend you to sew on is the nose part. So the nose part should fit pretty well on the headpiece. So you just put it on like this, and then you sew up and down all the way around. think this little fellow is gonna get to stay on my tea shelf that I'm gonna create in the house. So if you are new here, we are moving in 2 weeks into a house, and yeah, very exciting, but also a bit scary because we are moving from a small apartment in a big city to a house in a small city, 400 or almost 500 kilometers from Helsinki. So it's a change, but I think it's gonna be exciting, and I'm excited that we're doing it now when it's autumn and we can make it all cozy, and I get to maybe start putting up some Christmas lights when we move. Lucas is not really on the same page with me when it comes to Christmas lights at the end of October, but we will see. I might be able to convince him that it's cozy with some lights when it's dark outside. So I am just going up through the nose. Oh, I've been sewing with this twice already, so it's very flimsy, the yarn. And then we're going down, and then one stitch to the left, and then up. I'm gonna try, I think I pulled the stitches a little bit so that the edge became a little bit zigzaggy, so I'm gonna try and not pull too hard on my stitches this time and see if it looks better than last time. I'm also gonna show you how I embroider the nose, if anyone needs help with that part. It is super simple, but hard to explain in a pattern, so I think it's better to get it as a live instruction when it is possible to get one of those. And if you have any wishes for the December call amigurumi, I've been hosting Crochet Along since 2018. Now I don't honestly remember what number this Crochet Along is, but it's a lot. And I started with a Christmas Crochet Along in 2018, so the Christmas ones have always had a special place in my heart. So if you have any suggestions or wishes, let me know. Because I haven't decided yet what we're gonna make. Something cute, something adorable, something very festive. That's the only thing that I know for sure that we are gonna be making. Maybe do something that has lights or something incorporated in. That would be really fun. I would like to experiment a little bit more with my amigurumis and the materials I use. So maybe the Christmas one could have some lights. And if you want the exact placement of the nose, you will find it inside of the pattern. No, I did that one wrong. You could maybe also sew this on with the invisible stitch. I was contemplating which stitch I would use for the nose and ended up choosing the up and down stitch, but the invisible one could actually also work. I also didn't make any tail for the capybara because honestly I didn't remember if they had a tail or not. So if you let me know, do they have a tail? Do we need to make a tail for this fellow, or can she be tail free? That was that. So now we have a nose. After the nose, I recommend you to sew on the eyes, because the eyes makes it easier to find the right placement for the ears. So ignore that I have an ear already. And if I remember correctly, it was about 7 rows down. And then this time you can choose if you want to make a happy capybara or you can make a sleepy capybara. You know me. My signature detail on my amigurumis is my happy eyes, so I am gonna keep it happy. But I also think that it looks adorable with the sleepy eyes. Do we think that this is a good placement? Try to compare it to the picture that I have on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 7 rows down. And I mean, I have an ear now, so I can a little bit adjust to the ear too. But I think that looks good. I'm doing now one side at a time. You could also just assemble the other side and get a... because it looks weird if you put it too close to the nose. Yeah, let's go with this. And let's squeeze it in place with the thumb and do a up and down stitch all the way around. Does anyone have any autumnal plans for the rest of the October? Here in Sweden and Finland, I feel like there is a lot of craft shows going on. I am only happy if we survive our move. That's our main goal for October. And I actually have a photo shoot next week with a photographer, which is very exciting because I have never done anything like that before. And it's gonna be fun to see how she is gonna take pictures of my amigurumis, and I hope that it will be a lot of fun and maybe I can learn a thing or two that I can use when I take my amigurumi photos. Are we happy with that? It feels like, because I'm sewing stuff on, I am basically assembling this for the second time now. And I always feel like the first time goes better than the second time. I don't know why. But this I actually had to frog earlier today because I had used Ralph the Moose eye. So it was the wrong dye bath or yarn, because I'm not really sure if this actually is the natural white or if this is a beige color, because they are so close to each other. But when you see them, like here for example, you can see that this is not their white yarn. This is their natural white yarn, and this is a little bit more dirty white. Maybe I would describe it like that. When I have sewed the eyes all the way around, I like to go through the yarn, through all of the stitches on the last round. Mostly because I think it makes the eye pop a little bit more and look like the stitches becomes a little bit more even after the sewing, but also because it makes the eye very sturdy. It will not go anywhere. Sometimes I also go in with a needle just to see that it's how I want it to be. Oh, the thing I'm most excited on sewing on is always the eyes, because it gives the animal so much character when you have the eye on. And I just love this so much. It is adorable. It is adorable. $20. Let's see if we can manage to get an eye on, an ear on, and then embroider the nose. I will do it whether it's taking me 20 minutes or 30. Okay, let's see if we can get this quite in the same place. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches in between the nose and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe there, and then yeah, I think that's... Now it's really hard. We need to pin the ear in place to get everything to look as it should. So we have the first side and the second side. Okay, I think that's the right placement. At some point, you just need to go. You just need to go for it. Otherwise, there is a tendency to sit too long, at least for me, and try to pick the perfect spot for an arm or an ear. Mariana, this amigurumi looking so sweet. Thank you so much. I really love how this one turned out. Oh, do you want to see the sketch, by the way? Let me give you a tour. This is the initial sketch for the capybara. So the capybara in itself, pretty close. As you can see, I changed the legs a little bit, and the colors are obviously not matching because it's very hard to match markers with yarn, but try my best. Then we have the teacup, who looks way different. I realized that I really didn't like the combination of the light orange and the darker orange, and much more preferred the white and the orange. But I did like this vintage form, and I actually did a lot of research on vintage teacups, especially like 60s and 70s teacups, and they quite often had this pretty graphical illustrations on them. So I went with something that is supposed to look like a leaf and then 2 lines in between and then leaves going all the way around. And I wanted something to connect the cup with the plate or the saucer, because a lot of the designs on teacups had that. And you know me, I love a scalloped edge, so that's why the saucer had a scalloped edge. And the reason why everything is double-sided is because I've seen a lot of crocheted cups that are very flimsy, and I wanted a pretty solid, sturdy cup, so that is why everything is doubled layer. And then instead of the light orange going on the outside on the pattern, I put it on the inside because I wanted something a little bit different on the inside. Anything else? Yeah, I didn't end up taking out the green either because I felt like there were too many colors going on, so I skipped that. I also skipped the sprinkles on the collar. So my initial idea was to make this color but have brown and orange sprinkles on it to resemble cinnamon and like the pumpkin spice. But I felt like because this was crocheted back and forth, I felt like it was becoming too messy. It's also not that wide and also very roughly. Funny thing, I have crocheted and recrocheted this 20 times, I think, to get the ruffles right. Because I have made ruffles in the past, but I never seem to remember quite how to calculate the increases correctly to keep it ruffling, because you need to keep on increasing because otherwise it will become flat at some point, and I had that issue. So this very simple piece, the very simple color, got a lot of time when designing. And then we have the little tiny pumpkin that also was the initial in the initial sketch. So here's a little bit of the behind the scene of the design of this amigurumi too. Minerva, I'm using green on the cup, like your sketch. Oh my god, I'm so excited to see your teacups because I've seen a lot of different color variations, and I think that is really, really fun. And I mean, that's also the thing with teacups, they can look how they want. So yeah, I'm very excited to see your interpretation of the teacup. So, okay, let's finish the eye. I just came up with what the color could be like if it would be a Christmas one. It could be red for mulled wine. Is that the correct word for glöggi? That's a Christmassy drink. So you can switch it out to red if you want to. I think that there might be a risk though that I have to make a second capybara, because my nephew has been asking for a capybara for a very long time, and he's coming to visit on Sunday, and if I know him correctly, he will claim this as soon as he sees it. So I might need to make a second one. But I mean, that's okay. I just need to see if I have yarn. The first thing I'm gonna do when we have moved is to order a huge order of alba cotton yarn. Because I have so many projects coming up for that yarn, and my stash is running out. And I haven't been able to order any because it feels stupid to order a huge stash of yarn when we're gonna move. So I'm saving myself for the move, and then I'm gonna order yarn. Okay, the ears. So let's figure out where I attach them. Maybe there. Could be the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I wonder if it should be. So here is only one, and then it's around the second. So in that case, it should be here. Yeah, let's try this. And then because it's folded, I am taking loose the pins. And because I know that there are 6 stitches on the last round, I am sewing on 6 stitches, and then I'm folding it back and sewing on 6 stitches. Just because I feel like it's a bit tricky to sew when there are pins in the way. Marielle, adorable, thank you so much. I'm happy that you love it as much as I do. This is one that will not go into one of my plastic drawers, I think, or plastic boxes. I have a lot of amigurumis, and our house can't display them all, sadly. So I have a lot of them stored in plastic boxes, sadly. But this one is gonna get a special spot on my tea making shelf. I thought it would match the vibe with all of the other cups, and then it can be a tea making buddy. I have quite a few desk buddies right now, so I need to figure out new places to put my amigurumis. Okay, like this. So I sewed first the under, and then I folded it back and sewed the top part. I think it looks really good. And sometimes I make a couple of extra stitches because I feel like the edges tend to look a little bit loose with only one stitch. And then we just weave in the ends. Side A, side B. Yeah, it looks good. The eye could maybe a bit, tiny bit closer to, I don't know. Oh, it's good, it's good. Let's not overthink it too much. And now we just need to find the black yarn. Where is that? Here I have some black yarn. Now I'm gonna show you how to embroider the nose. And then we are gonna stack our toy, and then we are done. Okay, so go in from a random place. Push it up through the nose. This is 1, 2, 3 rounds. I might move it. No, I think it's good. Like this. Then pull it across. And a bit down. And then when we have a loop, we just pull that through the loop. And we have a Y, and as you can see, when you pull it down, you can just poke it through, and then you have your nose. Like this. So cute. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I'm just gonna, if you're giving this to someone who is playing with this, weave in the ends thoroughly, because if you don't like I'm gonna do because I'm lazy, if you pull in these by mistake, you're gonna pull them out. So, but I'm gonna just tie a knot and then tie it pretty tightly, and then not touch the nose anymore. Will this work, or do I need to take a crochet hook? And then we can take our needle and just carefully adjust the stitches if needed. And then it is done. I have some black sticking up here that I don't know what it is. Let's hide that underneath. Or is it just... Oh, it was just loose fluff. Like this. It is finished as it is right now. You can keep it like this. I think it's adorable as it is, but I think the color is making it 10 times better. So let's tie that on. And you might be thinking, why are you tying it upside down? But I realized that the bow is prettier if I tie it that way. And just need to figure out how to do the first knot so that it's the same length. Hello! My dad just came in. He is staying here for the weekend. Oh. What am I doing wrong? Okay. I'm taking back what I said about doing it upside down. Wait. This is longer. That means that it should be this way. Maybe. Oh, I had such a good bow this earlier this morning and now I can't get it even. Okay, we have to just live with that. If you haven't made your collar yet, you can make the one of the yarn ends a little bit longer and then it's easier to get it even. But look how cute it is with the collar. You can ruffle it up if you feel like it's not ruffled enough by going through it like this and see like that there are you can like fold it manually a little bit if you feel like the ruffles are uneven. But yeah, this is our buddy. The idea is that this is his pumpkin spice cup and he is sitting in his cup and the collar is creating this white thing that should look like cream. That's the idea. And then we have to top off the cake a little pumpkin that sits on its head. Let me see if I can get it in the camera. This is the pumpkin sweet amigurumi for the October crochet along. If you want to go and grab the pattern, it is free inside of the club, will be so all October and all November. The pattern will then be available in the secret pattern shop that we have with exclusive club patterns and will be released to everybody next October. So that is the plan. So if you want to go and grab it right now and do it this month or next month, you can go and grab the pattern for free inside of the club. Candy cloud, cute. I'm inspired to make one sleeping in a cup. Oh yes, that would look so cute. Mariana, so lovely. Reka, it's like a Renaissance capybara. Yeah, I thought about that too. That the ruffles on the collar is very Renaissance-y, and I really love it. I don't know if you have seen these animal portraits that you can order from Etsy, where artists makes your animal or pet into a Renaissance king or queen, and that is I feel it. It could have a crown on its head and look fabulous and freaking adorable. Oh, I'm so happy that you like him, her. I am gonna go through and write down all of the name suggestions that you had and make a poll in the Discord chat before we end this live stream. So let me see if I can find the first one. Gracie? And then Kopa with A and Kapu with a Y. And Cinnamon. And was there any other? We're gonna grab the names in the Discord chat too. So if you come up with a name after this live stream, you can go and put it there. Thank you so much for joining me on this assembling party. I hope that you got something done during this hour of crafting. And if you want to go and grab the pattern, you will find it inside of the Happy Amigurumi Club. Happy crocheting, everybody, and have a really, really wonderful rest of the weekend. See you all around. Bye!